Welcome. First of all, I would like to acknowledge that we are all meeting on regional land. For me, I work at a derrick. So where I am is a derrick in Blacktown area. And some of you might be a different area, but we want to acknowledge. And I think it's quite important as African Australian Advocacy Center, we do those things and also become a good support to the indigenous people in their movement in terms of the recognition and also in treaty. So I just wanted to put that one first of all. And I'll say welcome to all of you, members and also executive members. And we've got some visitors as well who's helping us out here. Welcome to Brother Joseph.
Okay.
And yeah, so we move into the next item on the agenda, which is the confirmation of minutes of previous annual general meeting. Put that one up. Gary, do you have it?
Yeah, I can share with it. I have them.
All right, you can share it. So he's sharing. I want to say welcome to those of you. Some of you haven't seen you. I just saw you, seeing you now. Welcome, welcome, Betan. Welcome, Yusuf, Antoinette, Mary. Welcome.
Yeah. We've sent this today into everyone's email.
Yeah.
We also have recorded, the meeting was recorded for via Zoom.
Look, we are so technology savvy that we recorded.
Yeah.
So just from memory, in the last AGM, we didn't make any kind of decision. Besides that, I think we should review the constitution. I think that's the main one that we talked about, but I'll leave it here maybe for a minute for people to look through, and before we move it and second it, or if there's any amendment needed.
The only change we did was add the bank account to the
agenda.
The accounts.
Okay.
Yeah. And more details are in the I recorded the video. Like some of you to move the minutes.
People who were present during that time. Maybe, sorry, Noel, if you can move it up, the people who were present during that time, their name is up there. So
I said I was there, Gary, Daniel, Aisha, Vin, Delphine, Patrick, Fai. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can move them. Someone can second.
I can second it.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Excellent. I think that, yeah, the previous meeting was a very our very short meeting, the AGM. So yeah, as we mature and grow, I think it will take a bit of action as well. So I'll pass it to Noel. I think he will take us through the Treasurers and Chair's report.
Okay, thank you, Gary. So thank you, Daniel, and thank you everyone for coming today. As you mentioned before we proceed, I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we are meeting today, and pay my respect to elders past and present. And hello once again. I welcome you all to our 2020-2021 annual general meeting. For those who are joining us for the first time, my name is Noel, and I'm outgoing chairperson of the African Australian Advocacy Center. Of course, it is Friday evening, so many of you have taken your precious time to be with us. from your evening duties and of course, with other commitment to join us tonight. So thank you all for being with us. I would like to first of all to welcome our guests that whom are already maybe among us, we may know them, who are joining us tonight. I start with Joseph Kench. Joseph Kench is a grow up in in a diverse cultural environment in southern London in the UK. He was, I've been with him, I know, I will tell you how I'm in touch with him, but with my conversation I had with him, he was inspired by the cultural diversity that he was brought in the UK, and he became an advocate for social justice, no discrimination, and cross-cultural communication. And after extensive travel in Asia and in the Middle East, Joseph migrated to Australia in 2004, and he finally became a citizen of Australia in 2012. As we speak now, Joseph is studying, he did the studies of traditional Chinese medicine at UTS, and he realizing health and well-being of a personal level is inherently linked to a health community. Joseph became so attached to community, especially he was inspired by the way the Australian multicultural system is. And as we speak now, he's undertaking studies in community services, and I'm honored that I'm now supervising him through my work. So as a student who is doing his work placement in my work. Part of his task, he has to attend some community meetings such as this. That's why I invited him today to be with us. And one of his tasks actually is to take minutes. So welcome, Mr. Joseph, to this. The other person that you may not know or familiar with is Akano Amuda. For those who are at the Parliament House, you may remember him. He's one of the younger African Australian stars. And I was very pleased to have met him. And within a short time that I knew him, he's an incredible man with a bright future. And then I asked him, and he was actually impressed by the work that AAAC has been conducting. And then I asked him if he'd be happy to, to join us as an associate member, so that he can join and continue the work we're doing. He's very passionate and ready to embark with us and do some volunteer activities with us. And I'm glad that Mary Jo, you'll be happy to work together with the Akano in volunteer capacities. So others, of course, are very lovely founding members who've been who've been very important to this AAAC since its inception. And I always thank you so much for your support, contribution, and everything you've been giving to this organization until where we are. So without now taking so long, first of all, I want, first of all, as an outgoing chairperson, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to this annual general meeting, celebrating our 2020-2021 accomplishments. I wanted to start by thanking you for joining us today. Your support and the presence here is indicative that of some of the steps that we have made in the right direction. I wanted to start by, first of all, saying big thank you to our outgoing executive committee members for the right direction and the contribution that you have made in the last 2 years. And of course, our board members and the other members for what you have done. I would also like to particularly thank Gary and Kirsten for the ongoing support to AAAC. Your contribution is much appreciated. And of course, we are always happy to have you behind the scene. Our valuable members and supporters, like for example, our external advisory board members, I also thank them for their contribution that they have made or played to make sure that we achieve our goals. So as an outgoing committee, we appreciate what you have done, and we want to continue working with you in different capacities. So far, we have a good foundation upon which to build on. And as we said, when we established this organization in 2019, where we stand now, we stand in a good shape, and it is our responsibility to build on it to ensure that the future of this organization, is able to achieve its goals towards the ambition that we want to say, to be on. So going with what you have done, AAAC, as all you know, is an organization in constant evolution, and every short time, in a very short time, we have been able to achieve some activities or some achievement that I'm going to share with you soon. But this achievement could not be made without your contribution. The first of us, advocacy is all about establishing links and networks. And AAAC has been able to liaise with different stakeholders and maintaining ongoing dialogue with a view to securing partnership of mutual cooperation, with the focus to make sure that AAAC does the work that is, first of all, to advocate for the interest of African Australians, and also with other members who are happy and keen to join us. So in the last 2 years, we were able to establish links with, first of all, Stats. Gary, I thank Stats that you present today for the contribution you've been giving to AAAC and still giving it to us. Westwards, you all know the Westward, the work they've been doing, where we've been able to achieve 3 years contract, where they are now, as we speak, they are training our people to become writers. And also, a New South Wales Jewish Board of Deputies. They have become one of the vital partner, and they are willing to work with us in every step. As an established organization, we have been learning a lot from them, and we are happy that we continue to learn and how they've been working and what they've been doing to be where they are now. Keep New South Wales safe. Through our network, we've been also able to be part of this great organization, where different organizations from different walk of lives have come up together to form one of the biggest ethnic community group to work together against what we call racism. Those organizations have come from different worlds to be together and to work towards a common goal. For example, if a community or certain community is discriminated, this keep New South Wales safe. This New South Wales keep safe. We pop in and then support that community or that community members will be discriminated. We are now we are now about to start working collaboratively, where we'll be able to propose some project that can be somehow be a tangible responses to ongoing racism and discrimination that many people of African background have been facing. There's also our the MECA, which Daniel is the manager of. MECA is also one of the service providers. They've been doing an incredible job, and we are pleased to have Daniel on this board. And Daniel tell MECA that we are appreciative of what the support you continue to give us, and we're looking forward to continue working with you. There's also our sister organization, Africa Health Australia, which is actually Dr. Vin heads. It's also an organization which is now taking a big shape, especially in the area of health. And we are looking forward to continue working with them on various areas. There's also Department of Home Affairs. They've been collaborating and liaising with us on a number of projects. And they've been now, AAAC has been one of the few African organizations that has been consulted on a regular basis by the Department of Home Affairs. And we've been invited to different meetings that somehow take some decisions. Australian Red Cross, especially Daniel remembers very well how we've been contacted by the Australian Red Cross, and they are now happy that they are happy to work with the African Australian Vocal Center as one unique African Australian organization. They are able to work with us, not only in Australia, but also in overseas. For example, if there's African Australian members who have their family members overseas, and then they are maybe all who separated from war torn. They are happy to work with AAAC to make sure those families are able to unite with their family members. So we are also in a process of formalizing that MOU. There's also University of New South Wales. Through University of New South Wales, we've been supported by the Australian Human Rights Institute, which has many people who are very influential people, and they are willing to work with us as they are very good in the area of human rights area, and they think that AAAC matches with the objectives where the human rights values come first. So they've been happy that to work with us. And as we speak now, I'm on advisory board members of that institute, and I'm glad enough to be on that advisory committee member, because that gives me an opportunity to learn, also to network with different people from different backgrounds, especially in Australia. So there's also Marie Kamara. Is Bernard coming tonight?
Yes, I gave him the
good. So
the meeting ID and password.
Last year, we were also able to open a relationship with the New South Wales African Cup. This New South Wales African Cup is, as you all know, every year, there's a big tournament of African soccer that takes place here in Sydney. This is an event that brings more than thousands of people from African background. So I've been pleased to open up that relationship. As we know, we are envisaging to conduct a research on a sport to show how sport is very important for African Australian people, and we want to make sure that we work closely with New South Wales African Cup. We are now in the process of starting and working on that research, and I'm glad that Marie Kamara, who is now part of AAAC, is also the secretary of that New South Wales African Cup, and I've invited the president of that group also to be with us tonight. So Horn of Africa Relief and Development Agency, they have also contacted us, and they are willing to work with us because they understand there's some area of AAAC matches with their objectives and goals. Sydney Multicultural Community Services, it's also, that's why you work, and they are very happy to continue working with us. And they think that our values somehow fall into their policies, where they are happy to work with every migrant and refugee communities in a way of community capacity building. Catholic Archdiocese of Sydney, I've been also contacted by them in the Department of Justice and Peace. They have different departments, for example, modern slavery, and education, where they think that African community deserve better place in the different areas. and they are happy to meet with the executive committee and formalize a formal relationship where we can work in the future. So that's one of the few areas of collaboration or links that we've been establishing in the last 2 years. As you know, the advocacy, it's all about the networking, it's all about the collaborating. And once you collaborate, they understand our needs, and also we understand their needs, and then you come up with the mutual cooperation. So the contribution of those organizations has been significant for the ongoing development of AAAC. And as I say, we are unable to thank them enough for their support. And we hope that those relationships can continue to evolve to our mutual benefit for many years to come. So as you already know now, with the COVID-19, we did our best and we were able to achieve numerous positive outcomes. For example, as you already know, our dinner, which was postponed with the New South Wales Board of Deputies, was successfully held in June this year, where we had around 100 people, halfway from a Jewish community, halfway from African community. The feedback we received from that dinner is that they want to keep this event on an annual basis. So that shows you how important this event was. And a number of projects have been actually raised in that feedback, and we are waiting to finalize this. So the other thing, there was also the acknowledgement and the memorial of Australian Defence Force involved in Africa, specifically Rwanda, was held in May at Parliament House. As in 2019, we were able to auspice some small grant from the Department of Veterans. We auspiced that money for the Rwandan community in Australia. And event was also a great opportunity for us to liaise, also to reconnect with entire Australian. Later on, the Finn, who represent Federation of Rwandan Communities, we tell us a little bit more on how successful that event was. The other success project was the establishment of a literature program with Westward, as I said in the beginning. This program now is becoming very famous, where many African people from different states are able to attend, by Zoom. And last year we completed the first program where they produced the first publication. So the second round now is taking place via Zoom again due to COVID-19. And as I speak now, we have members from different, from African community, but from different states. And the feedback has been tremendous, saying that this is a way of African Australian people to raise their way to their voice, because we share with you the link, and I recommend everyone to read the first publication. You'll be very impressed to see how those stories are very rich. So, and the part of the AAAC strategy is to start, first of all, teaching the entire Australian community, through writing, because people sometimes they may say the stories that they don't know, but through that program, we as African of Australian, we as Australian of African origin, through that program, we are able to tell our own stories without being forced. And then through those stories, the people will be able to see or to read those stories and understand those stories. And then later on, that's how we can start teaching the public. So as 2 months ago, I received a call from the Department of Social Services. They told me that they were impressed by that program, and the New South Wales governor even acknowledged us when the Westward was awarded an award just a few months ago. So they were happy. They want to visit one day. There's a group, for example, but unfortunately, because every group now, all groups are being run on Zoom, they'll be visiting us on Zoom. But someone from the Department of Social Services told us that they would love to attend one class and see how this program is being conducted. Of course, as I said, the second round of this program, has been moved to online due to COVID-19. And I encourage every one of you, I will share with you the link. to share funding wide with the rest of African community members on Australia so they can attend these courses, which are free. So last but not least, there was a children's book. It's called Where Happiness Hides. This book was written by Anthony Baritini as a gift to the children of the world during COVID-19. The book was translated in 7 African languages, including there was Dinka, Swahili, Oromo, Igbo, Kinyarwanda, and Amharic. And now the book is also accessible online. And the book is all about the story, teaching the kids that they can, although we are in lockdown, for example, right now, but they can still find the peace, in a corner around the house. So the peace, you can find the peace or happiness anywhere in your house. You don't have to go far away to find the happiness out. So on behalf of the AAAC, once again, I would like to thank Westwards and the ADES Foundation for this incredible project. And they are moving into the new apartment in Parramatta early next year, and we are in a negotiation of giving AAAC an office early next year once they moved into new apartment. They said that they will have a big apartment than where they are now, and if we get an office there, we also be able to use the other facilities such as like auditorium, the workshop room. So if we are running a workshop, so we'll be able to use the other facilities. So this also from our ongoing relationship with different stakeholders. So to make sure that our AAAC name is there. So the other thing we did was submission to the Senate inquiry into issues facing diaspora communities in Australia. Last year in November, we presented a submission into issues facing African communities in Australia, and we were very well welcomed by senators. And through that, we've been in contact with them. And please let us know if you think there's any other submission that we can make, as long as the submission falls into our AAAC objectives. So the other things as update, we can say that COVID-19 has changed our way of living. So AAAC has been and still actively involved in the social media awareness campaigns aimed at slowing the rate of COVID infection curve. We continue to hold numerous online sessions and meetings to consult with and advocate for African Australians in a variety of areas, including racism, employment, education, refugee and asylum seekers, and human rights. We continue to increase our influence in a political sphere to improve the effectiveness of our advocacy, including successful presenting, as I said, a Senate inquiry on issues affecting diaspora. We've been also asked to provide different submissions into issues affecting our communities during this COVID-19. So far, we have submitted 2 submissions into the ministers of home immigration. So this shows our contribution has been actually acknowledged by different departments. So the last but not least, we want Africa Australia advocacy not to become self-sustainable as a priority. So we always prioritize the need for self-sustainability instead of relying on external funding sources. So what we are doing now, so we have, we are looking, executive committee is looking at how now we can rely on our own resources before we go to seek like external support. That's why such as your annual membership fees can make a huge difference. For example, we can also, we also open up, we are willing to open to any ideas from you guys on how we can make this policy to be self-sustainable, to make sure that we are not relying on external funding like other many organizations. Otherwise, if we start relying on, let's say, like for example, like a government funding, don't be surprised if one day they will come and say, yes, we are funding you now, then do this for us. Even if, for example, we are already to engage into one of the big campaign, we end up being compromised because we can't achieve objectives once we are owned by someone because of the money that you are being given. So this is what I can say as a conclusion. I once again thank our outgoing executive committee, board members, our members and supporters who have so generously given their time. I want to ensure you that we want to see AAAC as an organization that stands on its own feet. And I want to continue seeing this as one of the response or answer to many issues that have always affected our community as a whole. And that's why I'm happy tonight to say that me and my outgoing team were very pleased to see what you have achieved so far, and we're looking forward to continue serving with you all. Thank you.
I was wondering if I can just share a screen of some of the work that Noel was talking about, just for visually to see it. I'll just quickly do that. Let me see. All right. Here is the African Writers one. African Australian Literature Development Program. The previous project is a book published, which is a compiled stories of, you can read it online, it's available. You just go to Westwords. There's a hard copies printed as well. You can purchase it. I'm sure we can get across to you on how you can get hold of those. It's also something that as African Australian, we should be very proud, because you don't find a lot of literature works. This is something you can hand down to your family, stories about people, Australian would like to get to know a story firsthand as well. The other one that Noel talked about was Happiness, Where Happiness Hides. So this book has been translated into a number of languages, but for the African, I think it was translated into, how many was that, Noel? Sorry, I don't know, I think you're on mute.
7 languages.
7 languages. You can see
African,
yeah. So 7 languages. So you go and choose language you want. Read it to your kids, bedtime. You know, if you don't have kids, family members, you know, kids you can read to. You can read it online. You know, you have a Zoom meeting with the family and just read it through with them. It would be something they should be very proud of. Yeah, I just thought it would be really good to share those things visually as well, as we talk about it. So thank you. So now I will hand it over to our returning officer.
We've still got to do the constitutional amendment.
Yeah. All right. So the constitution amendment. Noel, do you want to go through that?
Yeah. In the last meeting, we worked on amendment of our constitution to, as you know, constitution always goes with the time. So we made a few amendments, and we met with the board members. We went through it, and we want to make sure that the members also are aware of it before we pass it. So we have sent it to you a few days ago, and if you are happy with that, then we can pass it.
It would be good, Gary, if you can just screen share the constitution. Have you got it, or do you want me to screen share it?
If you could screen share it, Daniel.
I'm going to screen share it. Yeah, just for people to kind of have a final skim through. Many eyeballs on it will be helpful. If there's any grammar that need to be picked as well. There we go. Is it too small, or is it okay?
It's too small.
All right. Good size.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Most of the changes that were made were grammatical. And to get it that it was consistent throughout the document. So we were rushed when we wrote the first one, and we used board in some places, executive committee in other places, and we just made sure that they met with each other. And the executive met how long? About 4 weeks ago, and finalised a lot of the changes. And then Daniel ran it through Grammarly. I'm doing a plug for them because he gets commission. He doesn't, but yeah. So if you've got changes you want to make, please make them now. Or otherwise, you can move them to. We need someone to move to adopt the new constitution and somebody to second it.
No, for me, I worked on it, and I'm happy to pass it.
Well, we can give people a few more minutes to read it. If you don't have a copy, you can post it in the chat if you want. Or
hi, Bianca.
I move to second.
Okay, thank you.
so, if there's anyone objecting to adopting the new constitution, no, then it's passed.
Okay, thank you.
This is the first African constitution passed with no objection. I'll be calling my president and my prime ministers.
Daniel, it's because it's African Australia, not just African.
A new form of democracy. There's no opposition. New
It may be a
normal.
coup.
The new normal is the opposition is just silent.
Okay, thank you. So it's
Welcome to COVID Sydney. Okay. So I just like Noel's given a good acknowledgement, I think, of the retiring board and executive committee members.
Yeah.
Now I've been nominated to be the returning officer, so I declare that all positions are vacant. So basically, over the last few weeks, people were given that opportunity to apply to the board, to the executive, and to take and nominate themselves for different roles. And I feel especially lucky that I don't have to go through election count. Sad that I haven't been offered any payments for rigging this, but yeah, look, we got the following nominations for the management committee overall. The executive are the office position bearing roles. Now we do have one role that is still vacant on the executive, and that's the role of vice chair. So if you want to fulfill that role, please contact the secretary and with your request, and the executive committee can have a look at it at the next board meeting. But that's my 5 minutes in this meeting over and done with. So no one objects to any of those people being on the management committee? No? Back to the chairman.
Booyah.
Thank you, Gary. Welcome to and Bianca. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, Noel. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's wonderful to be here.
Thank you. Okay, so Gary, can you bring the agenda back? Allow me to say thank you to retiring board and the executive committee members, and of course as I said my remarks, I was very privileged to work alongside with everyone, and there's nothing that I can say. You guys, you know, so you can see what your contribution has done to this organization within just last 2 years. And for those who are retiring, thank you for your contribution. For those who continue with us, so welcome back. And for also for new ones, welcome on board. And we look forward to continue working with you for the betterment of our organization.
Thank you.
Thank you. So for other business. So first of all, with other business, Daniel, Gary, can you talk about the our upcoming guest speaker?
I have a question.
Yes, Yusuf.
Okay. I think I have just been elected treasurer, and we haven't had the treasurer's report yet. According to the agenda, we should have the treasurer's report, correct?
Okay, yeah, we have
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we can have that before we go on with the other stuff.
Okay, thank you.
I think that's why we elected Yusuf for treasurer, you see. You picked it up, mate.
Okay, let me open it from our computer here.
Oh, okay.
So everything will be sent to you, Mr. Yusuf.
That's good. That's good.
Mm.
Available balance.
Yeah.
And okay.
There's a many amendments, including like the membership fees that have been made just in the last few days.
Yeah.
That's what made us not to send this report to you, because we need to make some adjustment. But so far, it's 2 years actually. It's 2 years financial report.
It's 3 years.
2 years. Okay. 2 years. So there's some need to adjust with the current one to make sure every member will receive this financial report. But once we have made those adjustments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
okay.
Well, just a correction there. The recent payment that was made is for the next financial year, so we won't be part of this report.
There are those who say that they have made part of the membership was for the last financial year.
Okay, got it.
I think 1 or 2. That's why.
All right.
We made a decision early on in the pandemic that we weren't going to chase people for the fees. Some people are in a better position now to afford to contribute rather than when they weren't previously.
Okay.
Good. Okay, so the following item is to talk about the upcoming speaker for advocacy, and I want Gary to talk about Lovimo Ndu, whom we're meeting tomorrow for intro meeting before he come and then speak with our community members. Gary, over to you.
Lovemore has met with our public relations officer, Karen Collier, and he was talking, they were talking together, and she approached me about whether he can help to do AAAC with an advocacy training. So Lovemore is a lawyer. He was a former boxer in South Africa, but he's also a lawyer. He's interested a lot in racism and working on the fields of racism, and he's got some interest in AAAC. He lives in Liverpool, so he's a local. So it's for many of us in AAAC that in Southwest or Western Sydney, he's more of a local. He's also been doing pro bono work with many African young clients, and he's looking at taking on a bit more of that type of a role. And he's got some upcoming fundraising bouts. So he's going to be doing some boxing bouts with other retired boxers to do some fundraising, and he's looking for sources to contribute towards. So this is why Karen was bringing this opportunity for a get to know each other between AAAC, which is occurring tomorrow, and with Lovemore. And it's an opportunity for us to get to know him to know us, and also to hear his thoughts about how he thinks AAAC can do some fundraising and lobbying a bit in different ways. So if anyone that was at the our first advocacy training with the Australian Christian Lobby, it'll be pretty similar format to that. So very informal, laid back, getting to know each other, talk. It will be recorded. I think Noel shared the link with everyone here. If you haven't, let Noel.
Yeah, let me share a little bit what the house.
We don't want it to be one of those open meetings where anyone that isn't directly involved turns up, because we want to build a relationship.
That's him in action, actually.
He was a pretty good boxer.
Yeah, he was. So in Australia, he was very known. That's him when he won.
Nice comment, Daniel.
Yeah. We are very happy to have him as our next guest speaker. And as Gary said, one of our area of focus is to establish different relationship and with aim of having like a potential project. So like someone like Lavom who is a lawyer, it'd be very good to liaise with him in the area of legal action. And of course, which takes us to our next speaker.
Nice segue.
To Lee, they are going to introduce themselves. I knew from the course that I just finished. The course's name was Train the Trainer. So, and that's the things we've been discussing. So in our next few months, I'll be also sharing the knowledge that I've run from our organizations. Say, and today I was actually in the afternoon, I received her email introducing it to me about a new program. Actually, then I said, look, that's coincidence, because tonight we have a AGM meeting. Why don't you jump in and then share with us what that kind of what program is about, and then we see what we can do from there. So over to you, Tuli and Bianca.
Great. Thank you so much, Noel. I think it's quite coincidental that I happened to email you just on the day of your AGM. So I think that worked out really well. I'd just like to acknowledge that my colleague Bianca is also on the call, sitting in the dark there. Oh, okay. Her camera's just off. Yeah,
Sorry,
okay.
Zach.
There you are. And I take it that you've just elected your new executive committee. So congratulations to everyone who's just been elected, and also well done to any outgoing members for your contribution to the organisation. Thank you so much for making the time to hear us out about the program that we are currently developing. So Bianca and I, aside from the work that I do with Marrickville Legal Centre, and as Noel mentioned, we had known each other for the last few months through the program that I coordinated with the Migrant Employment Legal Service. But I'm also working on this new program, that's a pilot program with Western Sydney Community Legal Centre with Bianca. And it's called the Domestic Violence Response Pilot Program. So we received a bit of funding from Women's New South Wales to run this statewide program. And looking at the issue of domestic violence, particularly for culled men. So the focus of our program is focusing on male who are either affected or affecting domestic violence. So as long as, it's related to domestic violence, our service is there to assist. It's in the development of the program, we noticed that there are a lot of domestic violence services out there, but a lot of the services are focused on women. And so what we wanted to do is not only work with men, but also to work very closely with communities. So organizations like yours that have that close connection to community and understand the nuances, I guess the cultural aspects that may make this issue of domestic violence quite complicated, but also quite unique to how it's experienced within each community or community group. And so what we wanted to do is we understand that a lot of issues for men and our communities in general don't happen in isolation. So where there is the existence of domestic violence, there could be other health-related issues, welfare or social issues. And so what we wanted to develop is a holistic wraparound support service where we work in partnership with other organizations, other service providers to be able to provide holistic support, particularly focusing on men. And so that's a little bit about the program. We're hoping that we'll be able to work with you to develop an education project similar to what we did, Noel, with Train the Trainer, but really using your expertise, your knowledge of your community. We come into this with a very, I guess, legal perspective on how we can provide legal support, but we also understand that, things like social support, it could be mental health or health in general, as well as, it could be drug and alcohol abuse or any other sort of welfare and support services. We're looking at developing a more holistic way in which we can support men. Bianca, did you want to add anything to that?
I think you say it really well. All I would add is just that, we want to hear from you. We want to work as closely with communities as possible because the reality is that communities know what works best for community. And I think that as services out there that have been built up and funded to work with women, which is great, but we feel like this sector, especially around domestic violence, has kind of ignored men, especially men coming from these different culturally and linguistically diverse backgrounds. So whether that be tonight, I know it's a little bit heavy for 8:30 on a Friday night, we can drop our email or whatnot in the chat so that if you've got any thoughts or any feedback for us that can help us build that program, that would be great. Otherwise, we're happy to take some questions now. Otherwise, yeah, you'll see us around, I'm sure.
And well, you'll distribute the flyers and promotional material to the attended?
Yeah, we can, yeah.
So Tu has sending me an email with information regarding this new wonderful program, and I'm happy to share with all members. We have other many members around, and these are things also been talking about a partnership is very important, especially when it comes to wonderful programs like like the ones now you are promoting, and we are willing to work with you practically and also in terms of disseminating those information.
Thank you.
So, and once again, thank you so much for this great program, and we look forward to engaging you more. And of course, if you have also other opportunities, please let us know. We'll be happy to work together.
Absolutely, thank you.
We have different representatives here, and all members that they have different knowledge and expertise in different area. So, and we'll be happy to, to make sure that we such program is something that can benefit the whole community. So Daniel, anything else?
Yeah, just wondering if I can ask a question. Is there any example of training or something that you guys have done that actually works with men? Because I know that different places, they find it quite challenging working with men. So I'm just wondering if there are examples that you could give us in terms of saying that this is something we've done previously and worked well. It might be something that might help us to even think through it, because this is a conversation that has not happened. This is probably the first time it's happening. So this
Yeah.
is like, you know, a pioneer kind of thing for the community. So it would be good to see what others have progressed, the path they've taken, and what has worked. And maybe we can start with that one and then, you know, fine tune it for our community.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, this is kind of a new space. And so the training that we are currently offering is kind of like, as Tu said, we're coming from a legal perspective. And so it is a legal problem spotting training for community health and social workers to be able to identify legal problems, especially in the domestic violence space with their clients. But aside from that, we offer a tailored legal service, which I don't think has been offered before for men. But in terms of workshops or whatnot, no, we're actually just building that. So we don't have any examples that we can provide to you that have worked previously, unless have you seen anything at MLC?
I would say that in developing a program like this, we know that we're not the expertise, that you're, as a community leaders, you're the ones that know your community best, and I guess the culture and the way in which people learn and are educated around quite sensitive topics like domestic violence. And so the only practical example I could give is, for example, the Vietnamese community. They've already developed a domestic violence program, sort of like a men's behavioral change program, but it's in language. It takes into consideration, you know, their culture and, you know, their values and beliefs as the Vietnamese community. And so we're sort of working with them to bring in that legal perspective, but then at the end of the day, it's the leaders and the community workers who are delivering that. We're just providing the legal support, and then whoever goes to that program that needs legal advice, it doesn't even have to be related to domestic violence or family law. We can provide that support.
Okay, Delphine.
Thank you, and also thanks, the guest to the and Bianca. I just want to have a question. Have you done, I don't know, some research or some consultation with the communities, or are you planning to do so? Because, like you said, I guess different communities have different approach to domestic violence, especially with men. So I guess to gather the information, or I guess to be aware of some of the underlying issues that I guess can be associated with that, you know, your program, you know, or can affect your program either in a positive or negative way, like for example, mental health and past traumas and stuff. So what can you tell us about that, please? Thanks.
Tu, do you want to take that?
Oh, I was going to say to leave it to you because of the lit review that you've done.
All right. Well, I'll start. Yes, to answer your question, we've done a little bit of research very much from a theoretical perspective, which I'm sure you're aware there's not a lot out there for CALD communities. And so Tu and I have worked together to look at which kind of communities we might have any personal networks with that we can reach out to. So this is one of them, being able to reach out to you. And this is part of that consultation period. And anyone here that's interested in talking to us, that will help us inform what the program will be able to deliver. So even though we've got a little bit of an understanding of what kind of things we can deliver. So for example, what Tu was talking about, that legal service, there's not a lot there that will change. The law is the law. But in terms of the community legal education that we want to be able to develop and deliver, that we do need to consult on. And that is why we're reaching out to you and different organizations, different community groups and organizations now.
Yeah, and I would add to that too that there is quite a lot of research into the effectiveness of men's behavioural programs, and I guess the approach in the system or the network has been, this is a program, it's a one size fits all. It doesn't take really into consideration, people's culture and their values and their understanding and, even trauma that's brought into the mix as well. And so in terms of the success or the effectiveness, because it's sort of, and I guess a lot of communities might understand that it's always something that's in English, targeted towards a very, Anglo audience, and then just translated. And when you translate it like that, it doesn't, consider the nuances and the very complicated nature of our communities. And so that we know that there's a huge gap. We know that we're not the experts. And as Bianca said, we're hoping that through this process, we'll be able to work closely with the communities and with organisations like yourselves to develop this. So it's only pilot, it's very new, and we're hoping that it's, the first step towards better, more targeted and more integrated programs and services that effectively help our communities.
Yeah.
Thank you. You can stay with us, we'll be finishing soon. So our next item of other business, it's to show you the website has been designed, and the designer is waiting for the final feeding, which we are working on it. So I'd like to share with you, show you how it looks like.
That looks good.
Yes,
I've got to hand it to you.
So it's and he used he's ready to put more stuff. What you want to do, I want every new committee member to send me a short summary of bio and a very nice photo of yours. So we already been working on content, so everything is ready. So he asked me to show you how it be looking like. So this is the one. It's already in a project working. You can, for example, jump on Google and then you can send information. But in the next few weeks, the website will be full of information. Yeah.
Actually, regarding to the sending pictures, he said it has to be high quality.
Yeah, high quality, yes.
Maybe from your wedding, if you can do
Traditional or church?
all acceptable.
So and
if you're divorced,
that's why you need a lawyer.
So the other item is so there's some number of members of parliament who have contacted me, and they want to have ongoing sessions. The session will be going, it's not going to last for more than 1 hour. So, and the good thing, we have a number of members of parliament from different political parties, Liberals, Labour, Green, even the Nationals have contacted me, and they are going to come and declare their name. So my question to you, they want to know what the best time for you during the week. It's not, it will not be taking you 1 hour, and we can come with only 2 or 3 questions. We can pre-meet via WhatsApp, and you can discuss the 3 questions that to discuss with. So what the best day do you think we can start inviting those different MOPs? Maybe let's say we can invite maybe, we can have 2 sessions a month. That means 2 MOPs a month. Or with other guest speakers that be in touch with. What the best day is? It Tuesdays, it Thursdays, it Friday, or if so, what time?
I am open.
I think, Noel, it would be good if we can send a doodle, and so people can choose the best day that works for them, and then we can come some kind of consensus.
So we send email out with the three possible dates to choose one from.
Yeah.
And the session will be only going for 1 hour. So the other item is we are happy today to be with Bernard. Bernard is the president of the African New South West African Cup. He works with Murray. Murray was already part of the AAAC. Bernard has been in touch with me since last year. The work he does, it's incredible, and thank you, Bernard. So tell us, I know COVID is killing everything. So how's everything you going with the preparation for the upcoming tournament?
Good evening, everyone. And I'm happy to see my colleagues. We just spoke a while ago, Bianca and Tu, we work together.
Hi, Bernard.
Hi, Tu. How, Bianca, how are you?
Good.
I'm really impressed. I'm really happy to see you guys coming up down here.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, we'll talk more about other things as well. So yeah. Okay. The African Cup, I'm the president of the African Cup. I work with Mare. I'm sure our agenda and the agenda of the African Advocacy Center is the same. Our objective is to have a healthy African physically, mentally, but we deal with younger people more. And, we want to keep them off the streets. We want them to be united. We foster oneness and cultural fusion. And for some who really want to take their football to another level, we encourage them, and we try to offer opportunities for them. And recently we've quite successful stories of younger people who are in Europe now playing in bigger leagues from our league, and some are playing in the A-League. But I'm very happy, and we want to work more with African Advocacy Center. Mario will tell you more about this because he's my secretary, and we work together very well. So I won't say much about this. And I want to thank Noel for inviting me and Mare to this AGM. I'm learning a lot. I've listened to a lot of speakers, and yeah, that's all I can say at the moment.
Thank you. So Marie, you want to jump in and then say a few words? The reason why I want to hear it's because, as Bernard said, this tournament brings more than 1,000 people from African background. And as Bernard said, one of the big issues, so if we don't do well for our young people, then our community's future is lying on nowhere. So that's why we are happy, keen to work closely with you guys to make sure that at least this tournament is not about leisure, about enjoying the soccer. Also, there's something that can also be done prior, during, and post the tournament.
Yes, but Noel and Bernard, thank you very much. I think I just want to take this pride to say the African Cup New South Wales is one of the most sustainable African organizations in this community. We've been going on for, I think, for 2 decades. And one of the reasons why, as I said some time ago in this forum, one of the reasons why we formed this competition was to bridge, epitomize relationship between Africans that were here and newly arrived refugees. And we've achieved that the past years, and now the competition has grown so much that we have, last year we saw uprising female league, and our women were so desperate to be part of the African Cup. And also this year we're planning to have the under 14, which is like a youth competition. It's growing a lot, and we've seen teams are still putting interest. I think this year, if things goes well, we'll be having about 20 teams. And currently, because I hold that position that look after registration, I'm trying to do a research to look at the diversity of the league, to actually find out where majority of our young people are from in Africa, as Bernard said. And we've seen a lot of benefits and positive through this competition. Last year, we saw one of our uprising players now representing Australia. In Europe, he went to the Swedish league, and from this league, we have the youngest African that ever played, the youngest person that ever played the A-League, Alusain Fofana. So, and we have a lot of talent in this league. A few months ago, someone from the football community, a very distinguished person from the football community, told the Western Sydney Wanderers, one of our partners, that they're living on a gold mine. That shows because of the talents that we have within the African community. And as I've said within this community, as part of our commitment as the African Advocacy Center is to do research about things that are affecting Africans. I think sports is one of those things that would be good to tap on and do some research and see, because for someone that have involved in sports so long, I know there's different form of racism that are affecting our young Africans in the different sports that they are participating in. So it would be good for our organization to involve with the African Australian Football Association to work on research and personal development for young people. And it's also a way to be able to tap into our young people and to get them involved in our activities.
Thank you, Marie. As you said, we are about to start working on research, focusing on sport, how the sport can be used, to unite, also to raise the African profile, because as you know, many African Australians here, they are very talented in different sports, especially soccer and basketball. So in that research, we want to show how sport can actually bring unity and also show the excellency among African Australian communities. So we look forward to working with you. And once again, thank you, Bernard and Mary, and we, as I say, we are happy to advocate on your behalf. And as I told you, I spoke with Craig Foster, and he's willing, to jump on this board when we start this research. And of course, we continue to continue to liaise with other stakeholders. Yusuf, you have a question?
I have put a question on the chat.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, this is not what we spoke about before the meeting. No, this is something else altogether that just occurred to me. Can we have a special position, an honorary position for a person of Aboriginal origin on our in our membership or on our board? Would that be something we can consider? It's not for today. The meeting has gone on for long enough, but it's something, and I have somebody in mind, which we can discuss later if you want.
Okay, so let's discuss that after. We can organize a meeting with the board, and then we can debate on that. But it sounds like a good idea.
Yep.
So we are not exclusive, so we are inclusive organization. When we look at our faces here, that shows it, tells all,
It does. It does.
So
and
we are happy.
There was something else I discussed with you before the meeting. I am not going to take up more time of the meeting, just to put the title on it, and that can come up in other ways later. The title is the Mile Creek Memorial, let's say, memorial trip that I had in June this year. So it's for another occasion. The meeting has gone long enough. It's an interesting thing, I know, but it's not for right now. So thank you, Noel.
Yeah, thank you. It's a good idea. I've discussed with that. I will discuss with that, when we are in our executive committee meeting. But it sounds a good idea. Daniel knows it, has been part of it, and we'll be happy to support it, from my understanding.
Okay.
Okay, so before we finish, I also want to, Akano Amuda is, as I said, is one of the bright future for our community. And we welcome you, Akano. If you can say a few words before we close.
You don't have to do a poll.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's an honor to be part of this organization. I mean, I think it's a wonderful thing that everyone here is doing. Yeah, and for me, it's just an honor, to be part of a group of people who want, a better social condition for Africans, and and I think there is no greater service in this. So yeah, I'm extremely excited for for the future and to see what's going to happen. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. I can welcome you to our family. Before I finish, I want to let you know that we have an outstanding request of organizations and members. People want to become associate member. So that will be an item of discussion between executive committee members. So bear on that. The other thing with the banking issues. So as you know, we have what we call a society account. So we can't, therefore, with the COVID-19, even not before the COVID-19, we had the discussion with the bank. The bank said if we can agree doing AGM with that, to have what we call the withdraw card. So it has to be accepted to be written in minutes that AGM has agreed to request for withdraw card, so we can take the minutes to the bank. Then the bank will give us a card so that we can use the card when we do payments. As we speak now, we had treasurer must meet with the chairperson or with other person. They had to sign a check, or they had to, So we want to have at least a card where, for example, treasurer can withdraw the money. What is needed is it's a signature, electronic signature from another second person. That's it. So, but it has to be agreed at this meeting, and it has to be written in a minute, which will be taken to the bank. So are we agreed that we can apply for the?
Didn't we agree to that last year, Noel?
Sorry?
Didn't we agree to that last year?
We did, but we haven't taken that. And if we take those minutes, I don't think they'll be accepted. We need the
Okay, so we need those specific words. So do you have the specific motion?
Yeah.
You want to propose a specific motion?
Yeah.
So do that. And then you need a mover and a seconder.
Treasurer should first of all, move it.
No, the treasurer will be holding the card, so it's not in my benefit too.
For those that were at last year's AGM, if one of you could move it.
Just can I put a bit of amendment on there?
Yeah.
Probably we need to put on a limit that you can withdraw on a specific time. Because the idea is that, look, because me and Noel has been going to the bank, lining up, with our mask on, in the rain, trying to get money out, and it's like $50.50, that kind of things. So we're trying to reduce petty cash movement, logistics. So if we put a cap on it, then the card works well. So I thought it would be good to put a cap on the daily usage of that.
Okay.
So we do that at Mecca. So in our organization, we have a card and we put a daily cap on, and then it works.
That's it. Thank you. So
my question.
Yes.
My question is, what cap do you think it's workable on a daily basis? How much would you think you'd be using on a daily basis? There's no need to put 500 cap and you'll be transacting 600,
Yeah. Yep.
So how much do you think would be the best cap?
Well, in my organization is 500. We do 500, but we can go less than that if we want to in our one, depending, because in reality, we don't have a lot of transaction happening. It's really those events that happen here and there when we need to organize it, especially because of COVID now. I cannot go to Noel and say, meet me here and there. It makes it quite difficult. So, and I think, yeah, fair enough. Around 500, if we can keep that.
We'll keep 500.
Yeah, probably that could be reasonable, I would say. And usually it's for events that we do. We don't do the small here and there. It's more for events.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
Okay, in the chat, so sorry, Noel.
Yes.
In the chat, there is a proposal proposed by Gary.
I can't propose it. I'm not a member.
Oh, okay. He is proposing a proposal. Somebody else has to take it up.
You can
Not
reword
me either, because I'm the treasurer now. So you need two people.
Okay, I can propose.
Okay, Patrick.
And you need the dollar value there. He didn't put the dollar value, so just put the dollar value, 500.
Okay. I propose that the AAAC moves to establish a withdrawal card with a cap of $500 per day.
Okay.
Seconder?
I'll second.
That's 3 seconders.
Thank you.
Anyone opposed to this? No?
No.
It's carried.
Okay. So we got 4 minutes to go. So the Federation of Rwandan Communities, thank you all for auspicing their small grant that they go from the Department of Veterans. From Delphine, I want to say some thank you on behalf of the Federation of Rwandan Communities.
Yeah, so thank you, AAAC, for auspicing the event that we had in May, like you said before. So it was a successful event, and it was good for AAAC to, I guess, to support the community, the Rwandan community, and FRCA in particular. And you know, I guess we are available to, I guess, to keep working with you guys, and we appreciate the support. And thank you also to members who were able to attend that event. So thank you. You're muted, Shelley.
As we close our meeting, I want once again to say that we really feel sorry for people being, affected by these restrictions. As I said in my remarks, AAAC has been working closely with different organizations, especially the Jewish Board of Deputies, to engage with media campaign to raise awareness to COVID-19. So please reach out if you feel like you need help. We'll be happy to to do our best. And also my suggestion, I was wondering if since AAAC has members from more than 25 countries, if there's a way we can start, maybe if you can create a video message where we can say, encouraging your people to stay home, get vaccinated, or get tested, also get vaccinated in different languages. Because in my experience, like someone working in a community, there's people who speak those small languages have been forgotten, and especially those who don't speak English. The only thing they say it's saying police, police, police. So I was talking to someone from the Department of Home Affairs during the day, saying if there's a way we can encourage our members who speak different languages to just take a clip video of yourself, at least in 15 seconds, using your wife, for example, in your language. Stay home, get tested, get vaccinated, stay safe, so that we can give someone, or some of our volunteers here, they can put those videos together, and then we can start promoting them just to help our community members. If you think that's a good idea, we can talk this to our WhatsApp group. Otherwise, if there's any other idea or question or suggestion, we can then officially close our meeting. For those who want to stay, they can stay. We can have a cup of tea, glass of wine or beer. We can start our weekend. Otherwise, it's now 9 o'clock and we are officially close our meeting. Once again, thank you everyone for your contribution, and we look forward to continue working with you. Thank you for our guests too, and Bianca, please reach out. We have our official email, which is info.
I think the info's run out.
That's
see.
Okay, I'll put it in the video recording afterwards.